Hey, Nick and radio station, thank you for coming down today. We wanted just to show the public is that the Lowville PD has a new leader in place, Chief Ortlieb, and I'm glad to have him there. And looking forward to our continued working together. With the Lewis County Drug Task Force, we depend heavily upon the village and the cooperation with information that comes in. And I think it goes back up the other way too, Chief, right?
Absolutely. We're glad to be back, actually.
So with that, now I can say that, between the county, handling calls with the county, again, we've got the village back up that we're trying to get to.
We're working on it.
Yeah, and the people there can be very happy to know they have a new chief and somebody's going to be dedicated to the public, and we're working together with RPD and the men and women.
Okay, so I think a lot of part of the reason for you guys getting together today is that you really just want people to know that now that Chief Ortlieb's in place here, that you guys are kind of on the same page law enforcement wise in the county, and that you guys plan to have an excellent working relationship going forward.
Yes, absolutely.
It's a clean slate, if you will. So.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, not to stir up the past or anything like that, but there are some, people are aware that there might have been some issues in the past. So this is, like you said, just a clean slate that you guys are, have vowed to work together for the betterment of the community, right, for the most part.
That's one thing I want to make. This has nothing to do with the past, what's going on here today. The past is the past. The important part that I want to let people know is that they say the village has got a chief in place now that they can count on. And that we as the Sheriff's Office are there to cooperate, to work with them, and that the public to know that there is nothing to worry as far as any hearsay or animosity from the prior administration. And we have had a good working relationship in the past, and now we're going to rekindle that with the new leadership at the helm of the village office.
And can you tell us a little bit, either one of you, both of you, what are some of the things that brings you guys together that you have to work together on?
We have, we need them. We need the Sheriff's Office and State Police. We have a lot of big events here in the village, and and currently we just don't have the manpower to cover them. So we rely heavily on the Sheriff's Office. We always have. That's why we're here today, just to reassure the public that we will have the Sheriff's Office help, the State Police, and these events will get covered with the county fair to the cream cheese to we have a lot of big things going on. It's county seat, so everything's centered around the village of Lowville, and we're not getting any smaller. And crime's not going away, so we have to work together. We have to work cohesively and to get the job done.
And the village does contribute, or has in the past contributed a member to the drug task force.
Yes.
I think you mentioned that, Sheriff. And I think that's an area where you guys really work closely together. The drug task force includes, people from the Sheriff's Office, especially with Sergeant Knight retiring, or Investigator Knight retiring, keeping that cohesion together is very, very important. So will Sergeant Martin still be participating in the drug task force from the village's standpoint?
Yep. So Sergeant Martin, recently appointed Sergeant Martin, he's actually a working sergeant, so he will be out on the street handling calls along with his administrative duties here. But part-time, yes, with cases that involve village cases, it'll be Sergeant Martin's responsibility, yes.
When you say clean slate, or should I say clean house, I believe you said clean house, what are your top priorities? What would you like to see in terms of formally announcing this kind of rekindled partnership? What are your top priorities for the village of Lowville and beyond?
Just working together and making sure the public sees that. I think we were missing that in the past few years. The riff with the sheriff and I was 8 years ago. It's time to move on. We have to. We owe that to the people we serve. So.
And like the chief said, right now the way things are, throughout the state, we take pride in how safe our community is. And do we have crime? Sure we do. But it's not like the major cities. It's not like some other bigger towns and villages have their problems. We have always been very fortunate here. And why? It's because of the cooperation of law enforcement. It's with the dedication of the law enforcement, the people that work for us and with us, And we want to make sure that the community sees that you still have that, and it's going to improve from here.
Okay. So I think maybe a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, I ran into the undersheriff at one of the committee meetings. We were talking a little bit about obviously staffing in law enforcement has been a huge issue, across the state, across the country, everywhere. And I was surprised to hear that at the sheriff's office you guys are pretty well staffed. As far as your open positions, what you're allowed to have, having them filled at the moment. What's the situation here at the Village PD, and how is staffing issues, and how do you plan on addressing those issues?
So most of our staffing issues came from promotions from within. So obviously I moved from patrol to chief. Sergeant Martin moved from patrol to sergeant. That took me off the road. So now that leaves us with 2 full-time road patrol officers. The village board has already granted us permission to hire 2 full-time road patrol. Last Wednesday we just hired our first part-time officer who's he'll be starting any day. And we actually have interviews tomorrow for recruits that are looking for a full-time job. So we're doing okay. They're not beating down the door like they used to, but they're out there.
But you are getting candidates.
Yes.
You don't foresee it being an issue. Being able to fill the positions that the village has granted for you to fill.
No, I don't think it's going to be an issue, honestly. Time is going to be the biggest factor. Once you do hire someone, it's up to almost a year before you see them on the road if they're not trained already. Obviously, we'd like to have a lateral transfer from another department so we could just kind of plug and play, and he can hit the streets sooner than later. If we have to train them, there's 6 months of training. They have 14 weeks, I believe it is, for field training, so it takes a while to get them up and running and actually on the street. But I think we're going to be fine. It may take a little bit of time, but we're going to be okay.
Right. So you're in your first week as you're officially. I know your appointment was announced earlier, but you officially started in the role this week as chief. And I think Brian touched on it earlier as far as any goals or priorities of where you want to see the department headed now that you're in your role here?
Our biggest goal right now is 24/7 coverage. That's where we want to be. That's what
I was going to ask you that.
That's what they hired us for.
So you're looking to bring like a night shift back?
Yes, I mean we have night shifts now. We're just kind of sporadic. We do have open shifts once in a while. I won't indulge on when and where, but that's our ultimate goal is 24/7. Get coverage back here in the village, so we don't have to rely on our partners at the sheriff's office, state police. They have other things to do. We have a police department. We should be taking care of our own.
Right. Quite a large area here, square miles wise across the county. So
and you heard the chief said, Nick, I like that sense of pride he's already taken. It's his village, his people, and that's what he wants, and that's great. That's the dedication there. But like you said, manpower is the biggest thing for all the agencies, including the state police. Including the state police as well. So everybody's having a struggle trying to to get people in a timely fashion. The chief said, but we'll achieve it. So in the meantime, we continue to back each other up and to assist each other, and that's what I want the community to know, is that no worries. There's not a gap there, and we got it.
All right. Well, it's good to see that you guys are happy to work together, and the direction that both departments are going to take going forward in that regard. So appreciate your time today. Did you have anything else that you wanted to add? All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Yeah.